WWE has spent over 2 decades systematically undervaluing the greatest cruiserweight performer in wrestling history, and they're still doing it today. While Rey Mysterio has broken every barrier, shattered every stereotype, and redefined what's possible for smaller wrestlers in a giant's world, WWE has consistently treated him like a novelty act rather than the generational talent he actually is. What I'm about to expose will make you realize that Rey's career isn't just a success story. It's a masterclass in overcoming corporate prejudice that reveals everything wrong with how WWE evaluates talent. Right now, as Rey Mysterio approaches the twilight of his legendary career, WWE is making the same mistakes they've made for 20 years. They're positioning him as a nostalgic attraction rather than recognizing that he's still one of their most valuable performers, still capable of carrying major storylines, and still drawing money in ways that supposed main eventers can't match. The disrespect isn't just insulting. It's costing WWE millions of dollars and destroying the legacy of someone who deserves to be mentioned alongside Hulk Hogan, Stone Cold, and The Rock. The numbers don't lie, and what they reveal about Rey Mysterio's true value will make your blood boil. From merchandise sales that consistently outperform main eventers to international draw numbers that dwarf most of WWE's hand-picked favorites, Rey has been quietly proving his worth for decades while WWE acts like they're doing him a favor by keeping him around. This isn't just about respect. This is about a systematic pattern of discrimination that has cost both Rey and WWE countless opportunities. But here's what's going to make you furious. Every piece of evidence suggests that WWE knows exactly how valuable Rey Mysterio is, and they've chosen to waste his prime years anyway. This isn't incompetence. This is deliberate discrimination against someone who didn't fit their predetermined mold of what a superstar should look like. And the cost of this discrimination extends far beyond Rey's individual career to the entire landscape of professional wrestling. The Mexican wrestling tradition that Rey represents isn't just culturally significant, it's a goldmine that WWE has barely scratched the surface of exploiting. In an era where the company is desperately trying to expand into international markets, they have the perfect ambassador sitting right in front of them, yet they continue to treat lucha libre like it's a sideshow rather than a legitimate wrestling style that could open doors to massive new audiences. Watch Rey Mysterio's early WWE matches and you'll see something remarkable. A performer who was so obviously superior to almost everyone else on the roster that WWE had no choice but to push him, despite their clear preference for larger performers. His combination of athleticism, storytelling, and crowd connection was so undeniable that even WWE's size bias couldn't completely suppress it. But instead of embracing what made him special, they spent years trying to make him fit into their corporate mold. The 2006 World Heavyweight Championship run should have been the moment that changed everything for smaller wrestlers in WWE. Rey didn't just win the title, he proved that size doesn't matter when you have genuine connection with audiences and the ability to tell compelling stories in the ring. His matches during that reign were consistently among the best on every show, his merchandise flew off the shelves, and his segments drew better ratings than most main eventers. WWE's response? They treated it like a fluke and went right back to pushing giants who couldn't carry Rey's mask. The international appeal that Rey brings to WWE programming is staggering, yet the company has never fully capitalized on it. In Mexico, Central America, and South America, Rey Mysterio is bigger than Stone Cold Steve Austin ever was in the United States. His matches are cultural events, his appearances generate mainstream media coverage, and his influence extends far beyond wrestling into general entertainment and sports. Yet WWE consistently underutilizes this massive asset, missing opportunities to build their global brand around someone who could single-handedly open entire markets. The technical wrestling ability that Rey has displayed throughout his career puts most so-called technical specialists to shame. His understanding of ring psychology, his ability to structure matches that tell compelling stories, and his innovation in creating new moves and sequences have influenced an entire generation of wrestlers. Yet WWE often books him like he's just a high-flying entertainer rather than one of the most fundamentally sound wrestlers they've ever employed. The longevity of Rey's career is unprecedented in modern wrestling, especially for someone who works such a physically demanding style. Most cruiserweights peak early and fade fast, but Rey has maintained his effectiveness and appeal across multiple decades while adapting his style to work with different generations of performers. This kind of professional evolution and durability should be celebrated and built around, not taken for granted. The mask represents something that WWE has never fully understood or properly marketed. In lucha libre culture, the mask isn't just a costume, it's a sacred symbol that represents honor, tradition, and mystique. Rey's mask makes him instantly recognizable around the world and gives him a unique visual identity that no other WWE performer can replicate. Yet WWE has consistently undervalued this incredible branding opportunity, treating the mask as just another piece of merchandise rather than the cultural icon it actually is. The father-son dynamic with Dominic Mysterio represents one of WWE's most compelling ongoing storylines, yet they've barely scratched the surface of its potential. The idea of a legendary father passing down his knowledge and legacy to his son while dealing with their different approaches to the business creates natural drama that writes itself. Instead of building their programming around this authentic family story, WWE treats it like just another angle that can be dropped whenever they need to move on to the next shiny object. The influence Rey has had on modern wrestling extends far beyond his own matches and storylines. Countless performers have adopted elements of his style, borrowed from his moveset, and tried to replicate his connection with audiences. The entire cruiserweight division in WWE exists because Rey proved that smaller wrestlers could draw money and generate fan interest. Yet he rarely gets credit for pioneering the path that so many others have followed. The mainstream crossover appeal that Rey possesses is something WWE desperately needs but consistently underutilizes. His appearances on talk shows, his involvement in charitable causes, and his recognition outside of wrestling circles make him perfect for the kind of mainstream publicity that WWE claims to prioritize. Instead of leveraging this crossover potential, they keep him confined to wrestling-specific programming and miss opportunities to introduce WWE to new audiences. The merchandising success that Rey has generated throughout his career tells a story that WWE's creative team seems to ignore. His masks, t-shirts, and action figures consistently outsell products for performers who get significantly more television time and promotional support. When someone who's treated as a mid-card veteran is outselling main eventers at the merchandise table, that's not luck, that's a clear indicator of untapped commercial potential. The work ethic and professionalism that Rey has displayed throughout his WWE tenure should make him a locker room leader and company ambassador. Multiple sources have described him as someone who goes out of his way to help younger talent, never complains about his positioning, and consistently delivers quality performances regardless of the material he's given. This kind of professionalism and leadership should be rewarded with increased opportunities and respect, not taken for granted. The cultural significance of Rey's success extends far beyond entertainment into representation and social impact. For Latino fans, especially children, seeing someone who looks like them succeeding at the highest level of professional wrestling provides inspiration and representation that's incredibly valuable. Rey's success opened doors and changed perceptions in ways that have lasting impact beyond wrestling, yet WWE rarely acknowledges or leverages this cultural importance. The technical innovation that Rey brought to WWE programming changed the entire landscape of what was possible in a wrestling ring. Moves that are now commonplace were revolutionary when Rey first performed them, and his influence on match structure and storytelling can be seen in wrestlers throughout the company. This kind of innovative contribution to the art form should be celebrated and built upon, not relegated to nostalgic highlight packages. The international business opportunities that remain untapped because of WWE's underutilization of Rey are staggering. His appeal in Spanish-speaking markets could anchor entire television deals, pay-per-view events, and touring schedules that would generate millions in revenue. Instead of building their international expansion around someone with proven draw power in these markets, WWE continues to push performers with limited global appeal. The storytelling ability that Rey displays in every match makes him one of the most valuable performers on the roster from a creative standpoint. He can make any opponent look legitimate, elevate any storyline through authentic emotion, and connect with audiences in ways that create lasting memories. This kind of creative value is incredibly rare and should be utilized more frequently in featured programs. The training and development opportunities that Rey could provide to WWE's younger talent are being wasted while he's underutilized in his current role. His knowledge of different wrestling styles, his understanding of international markets, and his experience working with every type of performer make him an invaluable resource for talent development. Instead of leveraging this expertise, WWE allows it to go largely unused while struggling to develop new stars. The streaming content possibilities in the current entertainment landscape are perfect for someone with Rey's combination of personality, experience, and cultural significance. Documentary series, training programs, cultural exploration content, the possibilities are endless for someone with his unique background and universal appeal. Yet WWE has barely explored these opportunities, missing chances to create compelling content and build Rey's individual brand. The legacy implications of WWE's treatment of Rey during this phase of his career will become more apparent as time passes. He's still capable of delivering memorable moments and carrying significant storylines, but windows of opportunity don't stay open forever. Every month that passes with Rey underutilized is a month that can never be recovered, and the impact extends beyond his individual career to WWE's relationship with international markets and diverse audiences. The comparison between Rey's measurable impact and his creative positioning reveals the disconnect between WWE's stated values and their actual decision-making process. They claim to prioritize international expansion, diverse representation, and authentic storytelling, yet they underutilize someone who excels in all of these areas while pushing performers with more limited appeal and impact. The business metrics around Rey's segments and matches consistently outperform expectations, yet WWE seems to treat these results as inconsequential. Social media engagement, international viewership, merchandise sales, every measurable indicator suggests that Rey remains one of their most valuable performers, yet his positioning doesn't reflect this obvious value. The current moment represents a critical juncture for both Rey and WWE. He's still performing at a high level and generating fan interest, but he's also in the final phase of his career where opportunities to create lasting memories are becoming increasingly rare. WWE can either recognize what they have and give him the featured positioning he deserves, or they can continue down the same path and waste the remaining years of a legendary career. The fan investment in Rey's continued success is evident in the consistent reactions he receives and the ongoing support for his storylines. This kind of organic fan connection is incredibly valuable and should be nurtured through meaningful programs and character development. When audiences are clearly invested in someone's success, ignoring that investment is both creatively and financially short-sighted. The cultural barriers that Rey has broken throughout his career have opened doors for countless other performers, yet WWE rarely acknowledges or builds upon this groundbreaking work. His success challenged stereotypes about what a successful wrestler should look like and proved that authenticity and skill matter more than predetermined physical characteristics. The international expansion that WWE continues to pursue makes their underutilization of Rey even more frustrating. As the company invests millions in trying to break into new markets, they have a performer whose natural appeal and cultural significance could accelerate those efforts dramatically. Instead of leveraging this obvious asset, they continue to push performers with more limited international potential. The technical wrestling education that younger performers could receive from working with Rey is invaluable, yet WWE rarely positions him in ways that maximize these learning opportunities. His understanding of different wrestling styles, his ability to adapt to various opponents, and his knowledge of match psychology could benefit an entire generation of wrestlers if properly utilized. The merchandise opportunities that remain largely unexplored represent another missed chance for both Rey and WWE. His unique presentation and cultural significance should make him a merchandising goldmine, yet the company has barely scratched the surface of what's possible. From cultural collaborations to international partnerships to educational content, the possibilities are endless for someone with his diverse appeal and authentic personality. The storytelling potential that exists in Rey's current family dynamics with Dominic could anchor WWE programming for years if properly developed. The natural tension between tradition and evolution, between different generations, approaches to wrestling, and between family loyalty and individual ambition creates compelling television that audiences can relate to on multiple levels. The time for WWE to fully recognize and capitalize on Rey Mysterio's proven value is running short. He's delivered everything they could ask for from a performer: athletic ability, cultural significance, international appeal, fan connection, and the ability to elevate any storyline he's part of. The question isn't whether he deserves better treatment and more prominent positioning, the evidence for that is overwhelming. The question is whether WWE will recognize what they have before it's too late to fully capitalize on one of the most significant and valuable performers in wrestling history. The legacy of Rey Mysterio will ultimately be determined not just by what he accomplished despite the obstacles, but by how the wrestling industry chose to value and utilize his incredible contributions. He proved that size doesn't matter, that cultural authenticity resonates with audiences, and that technical excellence combined with genuine emotion can create lasting connections that transcend entertainment and become culturally significant. The evidence is clear, the fan investment is undeniable, and the opportunities are obvious. All that's missing is the vision and commitment to properly honor and utilize someone who has already given wrestling more than it ever gave back to him. Rey Mysterio deserves better, and more importantly, WWE deserves to finally realize the full potential of someone who could still help them achieve goals they've been struggling to reach for years.